Parents strongly caution, the following programs are intended for mature audiences over the age of 18. These programs may contain some material that many parents would not find suitable for children and may include intense violence, sexual situations, coarse language, and suggestive dialogue.
You are listening to WRRZ Wizard Radio. Did that work?
It's going to work.
Listening to Wizard Rock Radio. How about that?
Well, good evening, everyone. And
Yeah.
Jen, what's going on with Jen? Why is she all? She must have
Oh,
on
there
her.
she is.
She must have gotten on her phone. Yep,
Computer died. And
that's
she's back.
That's the phone angle. Anyway, hello everybody, and welcome to Between Two Worlds.
Hello.
And these are my lovely co-hosts, Chrissy and Thunder, Beth from the Dead Speak Tarot, Medium Red, and Jen Norman on her cell phone. And not anymore.
She took offense to that.
Yeah.
I would too.
Be nice, Sid. Be nice.
I'm on my phone.
How are you doing today, Sid?
How's Sid?
I am doing wonderful. Well, I don't know. Today's been a weird day. Today's
It's been
A weird week.
energy has been kind of weird around
It's
me
been
today.
chaotic.
Yeah,
Been
yeah, and
vibrating.
I've been kind of like edgy and
Yep,
kind of
angry.
grumpy. So I was kind of looking forward to hanging out with you guys this evening and talking to our guest tonight. Which welcome to the show, the occult detective Bob Freeman. How are you doing, buddy?
Thank you for having me.
Hi,
Well,
Bob.
don't thank me until the show's over. It's good to see you.
We'll see
Thanks
if you'll
for
come back.
Publicity is good publicity, so.
any publicity. It's right, even if it's bad. And the Lord knows it gets bad around here.
He does. He get pretty bad.
Not so bad. Only if Jen can get
It's
her
a good
laptop to
bad.
work.
It's a good
I
time.
tell you, it gave up early tonight.
It went from medium red the last 2 weeks to back to Jen
Back
again.
to
Are you guys
Jen.
playing tag or something?
Well,
Do
I'm trying to milk this laptop until tomorrow because I found out that the little fans in there are not working, and so I literally, like, as soon as the podcast is done, it closes down. I turn it off, and I've been milking it because Chrissy and I have like 14 episodes in 14 days. So I'm like, you got to work, you got to work.
Right. That would not be good.
What we do with
It's looking,
technology.
it's looking pretty rough and pretty ghetto around here on Between Two Worlds here lately, the last few weeks, apparently.
That's only because I'm here.
Oh, Chris.
Oh, sorry.
Oh, I love it.
We're all trying to figure it out.
Oh,
That's so
sorry.
funny. Oh, God.
He said that like nobody was supposed to hear that.
I couldn't hear it, so I guess it's good.
Well, that's because you're on your phone, Jen.
I know.
Sorry.
Anyway, I'm the least experienced here tonight when it comes to the occult or the paranormal, things of that nature. So I thought, how fun would it be if I actually sat back and did nothing tonight and just did the comments and play the music during the middle of the show, which, by the way, we are playing Decay tonight, which will be
Right.
tomorrow's guest. So be sure to tune in tomorrow with me and Jen for Spellbound Sessions, because we're going to have Decay on the show. So we're going to get everybody kind of pumped up for that in the middle of the show. We're playing some Decay. But I'm going to let this cast of characters tonight take the role of hosting. And since you guys got the most, I mean, how can I ask questions about things I haven't done yet? I mean,
Yeah.
right?
Did you not do your research, Sid?
Well, I've done
Yeah.
I've done lots of research, but I've never been in a paranormal investigation. I've had paranormal experiences in my life, but I've never gone with a group of people to go do an investigation, or I've never gone to, let's say, a famous haunted house, and I've never done none of that. I've just done little stuff around my house. When you guys talk to the dead and shit, I barely talk to the regular living people.
Well,
So I'm gonna let
sometimes
you
it's
guys
better to
figure
talk
it
to
out.
the dead people than it is the living people, honestly.
Oh yeah. Oh yeah. They don't argue as much.
Exactly.
True.
Well, I don't know. I've got a pretty
They're
smart ass.
naggy, but they're not arguing.
Right.
Well, I'll start the questions off for you guys. And Bob, I got one for you. What is the biggest misconception people have about the occult?
Well, I mean, the simple fact of the matter is occult just means hidden. So most people that you talk to, we live in Indiana. So let me precurse that. So most people you talk to think occult means cult,
Right.
initially. Or they may, if they have a little bit of intelligence, they might think it just has to do with magic, witchcraft, that sort of thing. And occult is much broader. It encompasses everything that is hidden from us, the unseen.
Yeah.
And that's where you come in then, right?
Right. Yeah. I mean, that's where I like to look. Right. That's where all the fun stuff is.
So, Bob, what's your favorite location that you have investigated?
Well, there's an undisclosed location. It's a former Oddfellows building, and that's probably my favorite place to haunt. But probably the coolest place that I ever investigated was Roslin Chapel in Scotland.
Nice.
So
Right.
that's I don't know if you're not familiar. Roslin Chapel was a small church that is full of strange symbols and carvings that cover the gambit of like Freemasonry, but also a lot of pagan icons like Odin and Thor. There's these two pillars. The master pillar, which is, very beautiful, but kind of plain. And then you have the apprentice pillar, which is very ornate. And it represents the world tree of Norse mythology, Yggdrasil. So, yeah, it's just a fantastic place.
Scotland would be like, I went to Ireland last year, and so I was able to, spend a beautiful 18 days there in Ireland. And I went and did the crap. I can't even think of it. You have to excuse me. I have a headache today. Gosh, what was it, Chrissy? I got to be my brain now. You got to help me out.
Wasn't Scotland and Ireland like some of the most haunted places in the world? Just due to all the wars and battles.
A little secret. Every place is haunted.
Right. I was just going to say, it just they've got more history and more buildings that are, well over 200, 300 years. I mean, look at the United States. We're still young compared to Europe.
Yeah, we don't have any ancient buildings here.
Right.
But we do have ancient people. So like here where I'm located, right? You run into native spirits all the time. That the mind.
Yes.
Yeah.
Yes. I've encountered a few of those.
And the like. Yeah.
Oh yeah.
Oh yeah.
So we're as old as they are. They just had, quote unquote, civilization sooner.
Right. Hellfire Club.
Right.
The Hellfire
Yes.
Club in Ireland. If you get a chance,
Oh, that's brilliant.
make the trek.
Yeah.
And I mean, you
Yeah.
do. You literally feel that energy when you walk in. I mean, it doesn't have a roof in some places. It's very decrepit, but you can definitely feel the energy. It was wild. I was channeling and getting information, and I was telling my husband about it, and he had his spirit box going, and it was like word for word, it repeating exactly what I was saying. So it was like very spot on. But yeah, that was really wild. Sacrificial area, and yeah, quite an interesting
Wow.
history of it.
That's
That's
amazing.
Bob, what experience challenged your own beliefs the most?
Oh, nothing. I don't feel my beliefs are ever challenged. I've never.
You've
run
never
into any
you've never had the
question.
moment where something has happened to you, or you've experienced something that makes you question everything that you thought you may have believed in.
Well,
Maybe I worded it better
I
that
think
way.
those sort of things happened to me when I was very young. So now I just kind of live in that world. So,
And do you remember the first
I started
experience?
doing this when I was like 8 years old. So,
Oh hell! I mean, we won't go back to 8, but do you remember one of those? Do you remember one of those defining moments that
yeah.
kind of
So
like, man?
I'll tell you the defining moment. So, again, when I was 8 years old, this would have been 1974. I was very interested in Bigfoot, UFOs, ghosts, all that sort of thing. My dad would bring me home stacks of magazines, and I'd read up on it. But I didn't necessarily believe in it. But one summer, I was staying at my grandparents' house, and my great-grandmother was in a nursing home, and she was nonverbal. But so, like, the room I stayed in had a trunk in it that was her items, and I was forbidden to get into that trunk. So naturally, being a curious kid, I did. And so I'm rooting around in there, and I'm digging through layers of her history, and I start running into like astrological charts and little pamphlets on astrology and when to plant crops, when in conjunction with planetary events. I found this book called Unseen Forces by Manly Palmer Hall, and it was a pamphlet, and I thought, oh yeah, it had a really cool picture of like a woodcut of a salamander, and so I was fascinated by it. So I took it to bed with me and I read it that night, and it explained the reality of elemental spirits, of specters and apparitions, of the dweller at the threshold. And as I'm reading it, I'm thinking, oh my gosh, this stuff is real, right? That's like, from the guy's words, I was convinced, okay, this is real. It's not something I'm just, playing around with. This is the real thing. So I grew up on a farm, and we lived in a trailer at the edge of my other grandparents' property. And just up the road from us was the cemetery, Little Pipe Creek Cemetery. And it had a kind of an urban legend attached to it because at one time it had a fence around it with a gate. And whenever a woman would approach the gate, it would open and she could walk through, and then it would close. Whenever a man would approach it, it would open, and as he tried to go through, it would swing and hit him. So they eventually took that gate down because people were getting hurt. But that cemetery was right just up the road from where I lived. I had a door that allowed me out of my bedroom to the outside. So I would sneak out at night, go up to that graveyard, and camp out, hoping to see a ghost. I did this for a couple of weeks. Nothing happened. So then I kind of go back to that book, and it's like, okay, he's doing rituals. He's like, he's drawing circles, and he's conjuring these spirits. So it's like, okay, I need to do that. So I go out there the next time. I consecrate a circle. I make a triangle to draw the spirit into it. And I made up words to speak. And I did that a couple of times, and then something appeared. kind of a effluvium that kind of floated out of the back corner of the cemetery and had the kind of shape of a woman. And that's when I became obsessed with magic and that sort of thing. So, yeah.
That's really cool to listen to the story.
That was my defining moment when I realized this wasn't just stuff you read as a kid, like in comic books. This was real. And went down that journey.
Nice. So what's your specialty? Like, is there something that you are particularly more drawn to, or?
Did I lose you guys?
Are you there?
Hello?
Can you hear us, Bob?
Can you hear us?
I can hear you now.
Okay.
Did you hear all that, what I just said?
Yes.
Yeah.
Yep.
Yeah. Beth had a question for you.
Good. I lost you guys for a minute, so.
You're good. So I was just wondering, like, what is your specialty? Like, what is it that you do like the most, or or is it just everything, an array of things?
Okay, I can see you guys moving, but I can't hear you.
Oh no! Oh no!
Gremlins
are attacking our guests.
Yeah, there we go. See, I get to talking about spirits, and things go haywire.
Like crazy. You got them all over the place over
there. Yep.
Can you
Beth,
hear me now?
You can try it again, Beth.
Okay. So I was just wondering, like, what your specialty is. Is there like a certain thing that
Beth.
you do? Oh.
I hear Sid just fine.
Can you hear me?
You might try this. We'll fix it. We're live, folks. So sorry for the technical difficulties. But Bob, will try leaving and coming back, and it'll fix all the audio and video that's going on.
Okay.
Oh, okay.
I know it's going to take a second. Yeah, okay. Leave and come right back, and it should fix all the issues.
Okay.
While we're waiting for Bob to come back, how about we play some music?
That's good idea.
Sure.
Nice little opportunity to play some Decay.
There you go.
Let me get to it. All right, guys, we're going to play you some Decay while Bob comes back. So enjoy this tune because it's a good one.
This is the Voice of America, Washington, D.C., signing on. and God bless America.
Welcome back, Bob. Did they get it figured out?
And we're back.
Oh, yeah.
All right.
And that's a win. That was Decay, guys. Be sure to check us out tomorrow with Spellbound Sessions. We'll have that band on interviewing them, me and Jim.
Nice.
And I think Tobias is going to join us too.
Or are we
Nice.
back?
I'm sorry, Bob. Did you say something, Bob?
Bob, can
Uh-oh.
you hear us?
Is he frozen?
Is he frozen?
No,
We
I
still
can see
have
him.
Gremlins?
Oh,
Yep.
no.
Gremlins.
It sounded like it.
So, Bob, I got a question for you.
Sure.
When you figured out that there was mysteries behind the veil, did you get into the occult by following a certain path, spiritual path?
Well, when I was young, I didn't have that option. So I just read anything and everything I could get my hands on. I read a lot of like Gerald Gardner, Ray Buckland, stuff like that. So it was a lot of witchcraft because that was, the 70s, there was a witchcraft explosion. And that was the easiest stuff to get your hands on. Once I went to college, though, I was able to meet Thelemites and chaos magicians and that kind of stuff. So it was very eclectic. I always describe my kind of spiritual journey sort of like Bruce Lee's Jeet Kune Do. So like I would go in, I would practice the thing for a while, and I would take the stuff I liked and just kind of create my own reality, with all the bits and pieces that I felt a connection to.
Okay. So, did that influence a lot of your writings within your book? And pretty much, from what I've seen, it has.
Definitely. So, like, especially my early novels, all that stuff was pretty much experiences that I had, and I just kind of dialed them up to 11 a bit, to make a story. So particularly the first novel I wrote was Shadows Over Somerset, which was about werewolves that lived in and around the Mississinawa Reservoir. And that directly came from me running into a werewolf or a dog man out at a place called Goose Creek with a bunch of my friends. It's a place that we used to go out to in like late high school and early college. We'd perform rituals out there in the fall. And one night we went back out there. It's about 1986. And we were kind of surveying the area, and we saw these eyes watching us from the woods. And we got a little unnerved by it. And so we decided to make our way back up the hill to where our car was. And these wolves, dogs, whatever they were, they start growling. And we're like, okay, let's get out of here. And then all of a sudden, one of them stood up on two legs and started coming for us. And so we all just, we ran. And up at the top of the hill, there was like a barricade, so cars couldn't come down that way. And we all hurdled that, jumped in our cars, turned around, and nothing was there. But it was definitely a bipedal wolf-man hybrid thing. And that was, like I said, 1986.
Yeah.
And if you pay any attention to what goes on around the Mississinawa, there's been, a lot of people that, especially here in the last 5-6 years, that have experienced similar things. So that's kind of interesting to me.
I didn't know this area of where I live at has got so many fucking haunted places.
That inspired those werewolf novels, the 2 werewolf novels I wrote, and they were sprinkled with occult rituals that we had performed and things that had happened, and I just kind of tied it all together, wove it into a narrative.
Yeah. So what color was the eyes?
They were red that were watching us. Yeah.
Wow.
Yeah, I've seen that before. Exactly what you're describing. Me and a buddy was in a
Yeah,
barn
we're at.
in Iowa. We're down in this little small city called Powdertown, and we went for a walk. And this was back in the 70s, about 77, 78. We walked down this trail, this road. We hopped this fence and went into this old barn. We're sitting there, being teenagers, doing things that we shouldn't be doing, getting high. And I turn around.
That's why you guys are seeing shit.
Yeah.
Oh, dude, I'm telling you, I watched these set of eyes just go up the back of this haystack. And I'm looking out, I looked at my buddy and I go, look. He goes, oh, Chris, quit the bullshit. There's nothing in here. I go, look. And I ran toward this opening, where they brought in all the hay and all that. And my friend goes, oh, shit. And he was out the door before I was. I'm serious. So I took 1 second glance. And I mean, it was like when it was going up with the space in between the wall and the hay, because you have to have that. Otherwise, heat generates fire. You don't want your shit burning down.
Right.
So he was out the door before I even blinked my eye. He was like, oh, what? I mean,
That'd be me.
and I jumped out, and I kid you not, that had to be like a 4 foot, 3.5 foot drop. And I started running, and there was a pigsty where they had hogs and all that. I lost my shoes running through that.
Oh no!
The shoes and pig shit.
With my legs, I plowed through that.
Oh, I can't imagine the smell.
When my shoes came off, I turned around and looked back at the barn. This thing, okay, I'm going to call it a thing, stepped gradually out of it. There was no jumping. This thing was huge, and its eyes scared the crap out of me.
Yeah.
I mean, then I turned around. One of my friends, he came over to the house about 2 years later, 3 years later, and I told him about this. He didn't believe me. So they went out there. I told him, I wouldn't go out there unless there's a fresh coat of snow. That way you can see everything around you. Well, it was full moon, and it just freshly snowed. So he goes out there. He came back, and he told me what he saw. The exact same thing, except for one big twist. He was pale in the face.
Really?
He looked like he was scared to death.
Wow.
Yeah.
The next morning I went back out there, and I followed these dog tracks. I kid you not, it was as big as my hand, those tracks were.
Oh, wow.
Oh yeah, that's
I
huge.
followed those tracks up to a tree, about 10 foot up the tree. You could see where whatever it was, reached up and raked the tree with its paws. It wasn't no deer. There's a big difference between deer rubbing and gouges, whatever it was. It's what he described.
Wow.
The fuck?
Yeah.
I mean,
That's
I'll
amazing.
be
Yeah,
never.
That's a great story.
I'll never go to that
I'm
forest
sorry I
again.
wasn't there. That would have been, I would have liked to have been scared too.
Have
I
you
don't
ever
want to
encountered?
experience
Have
that.
you ever encountered something that you still can't explain today?
You talking to me or him?
Oh, I'm talking to Bob, but I don't think Bob can hear me.
Can you hear him, Bob?
I'm not hearing anyone else.
Oh no!
So Sid asked if you're. What was quite your question again, Sid?
It was. Has he ever experienced something that he still can't explain today?
Did you hear that, Bob? He can't hear any of us. He's not hearing any of us, unfortunately. Oh, crap.
Yeah.
Thunder, I guess you're asking the questions.
I hear somebody whistling. Does that count?
See if he can hear you. Ask him.
Hey, can you hear me?
Yeah, I'm hearing you now. Yeah.
Oh, wow. Can you hear me now?
Hey, Sid, why don't you retry your question?
He can't hear me.
Oh.
Have you experienced anything like that before or afterwards? Have you seen that first? Was that it?
No, have you ever experienced something that you can't
I've never
explain?
seen anything exactly like that. No. But in the 90s, I had a friend contact me from Arkansas, and they had a bunch of dogman sightings in that area. So they invited me down to investigate, and we tracked wolves up into the Ozarks for about 2 weeks, but never saw them. We interviewed a bunch of people that did, but I never got another sighting.
Do you think they were shapeshifters or skinwalkers?
I would love to, though. I mean, I'm always looking.
Do you think that there were shapeshifters or skinwalkers? He can't hear me. He can't hear me either.
All right, can you hear me, Bob?
Bob can't hear medium red either.
Yeah. He
Thunder
can't hear you
or
me.
Chrissy, tell him to leave and come back again.
Bob, if you can hear us, can you leave and come back in again?
Yeah, sure.
I'm going to come back.
Okay.
Ever had a problem like this before on it?
Never.
No?
It's the energies that Bob's bringing up in the crib today.
It literally is.
But Sid,
What has he got attached to him? I wonder. That's
in that
the real
area
question.
where I saw that dogman, which I firmly believe that it was.
He was
Me and Chrissy went to the other side of this farmhouse area, up more to the city's park area. And we're sitting there in the dark, and we see these glowing red eyes just going all over the car. Hey, Bob, can you hear it?
Yep, I can.
Can you hear me?
I can, yes.
Yay.
I think it's
crossed.
I think it's storms.
That these little tech sprites that are flying around your crib will stop fucking with your shit.
Well, there's a big storm going on.
Yeah.
Now, so
that's what I kind of figured.
Yeah. Same here too.
Yeah.
Yeah, Sid was experiencing it too, apparently. So Sid's question was, have you ever had an experience that you still cannot to this day explain?
Well, yeah, to be honest, most of them are hard to explain. There was not too long ago, there was I guess you'd say like ball lightning that just kind of appeared and manifested on an investigation. And I mean, it was about the size of, a little small, maybe the size of a basketball. And it just kind of manifested and then moved across the room. It was like a big ballroom. And some friends of mine got it on camera. It was amazing. And it's just like, how do you explain that? But maybe it's some kind of weird natural occurrence. Maybe it's supernatural, but I mean, it's the things like that, that's without like serious scientific equipment to measure those kind of things. I mean, it could be anything.
Yeah.
Did you feel like that the dog man, and maybe this is for both you and for Chris, do you feel that those were skinwalkers or shapeshifters or?
I don't know.
Yeah,
I didn't stick around to find out.
Yeah, right. Yeah, that's
evil, whatever.
The Miami Indians had a dog man spirit, the Manitou.
Okay.
And so my thought was that it was a Miami Indian spirit.
Okay.
Do you
Yeah.
think
There's a
that,
lot.
like, obviously they don't seem dangerous, really? I think. Do you
No,
think
'cause
they were
these-
dangerous, or do you
no.
think they were just scaring people because of
These
it's
Native
unseen,
Americans
right?
that he's speaking of were settlers. They lived here, and us, the society, the train, the industrial industry came through and took their homes.
The colonizers. The
Yeah.
colonizers.
They came
Colonizers, yeah.
through and basically pushed all the Native Americans out. When
Oh,
this-
so they hate us.
It's a,
Yeah,
well,
yeah.
It's a little different here, right? So, I don't know how much you know about the Miami Indian history in this region, like Converse, Marion, Peru, but the Marion, Miami, they traded their land for U.S. citizenship, right? So they wanted to be U.S. citizens. So they gave up the land and everything in exchange for that. That whole tribe was made U.S. citizens. Now, they're trying to get their tribal rights back because they all want the Bureau of Indian Affairs checks.
Right.
Because they lost out on that by becoming U.S. citizens. So they're trying to get that tribal status back. But
they probably didn't have all the information. I imagine there wasn't a fair trade.
Well,
Jen, I'm thinking the same
really
thing too.
Was their leaders were able to make money by selling out their people.
Oh, of course.
People
Well,
like
isn't that what
Sid
we're doing?
Mesha and those guys. So because when they got them all to become citizens, they were set up on huge estates and had massive amounts of money. So, there was certainly some political shenanigans going on.
Oh yeah, I would imagine.
Always.
You think?
I'd say there was a lot of pressure
Yeah,
just to
what's
get
new?
rid of their villages, because I do know that they had villages along the Wabash River, and they got pushed out due to the train system that was coming through, which now is a trail that you can walk all the way through the heart of Indiana. But that used to be a railroad.
Yeah.
And so they pushed out all the people that lived close to all the Indians that lived next to the river. They all got pushed out.
Yeah, those Miamis got relocated to Oklahoma.
Wow.
And they are happy about it.
Yeah.
Right? But yeah, to go back to the ones that traded their citizenship, the ones in Peru did not want to do that, and so they got into what they called a witch war, right? So Mashinga Mesha got a bunch of witches together to put curses on the ones in Peru.
I love Peru
and so
already.
They got their own witches to curse them back. And if you go out to the Indian cemetery out by where 1812 used to be, right, in Hobbit Land, in that Indian cemetery, it is full of Indians that all died right around the same time. And according to Chief Godfrey, that was from the witch war, from them, the curses that they had placed on them.
Oh, wow.
Yeah, so you get a lot of activity out there. It's a great place to investigate.
Like here in Iowa, when they drove the indigenous people out of Iowa, the shaman laid curses across the land. And that is why we have a lot of manifestations of houses being haunted, bad luck, spirits coming out of no place, because Iowa's all sandstone underneath. We have this reciprocating rivers underneath the ground. So it carries that magic all
That
through.
energy,
Indiana's the same, but with limestone, right? But we have underground rivers that flow everywhere. So you get those telluric currents that carry that magic. Yeah,
Oh yeah, it's sad, when you really think what happened to the indigenous peoples of this continent. And I hope that they get restored, that their way becomes our way, because I'd rather follow their way than what we are today, because
yes, but don't buy into that kind of, noble warrior. I lived on out in Arizona and New Mexico on Indian reservations for like 6 months, and one of them explained to me that, like, everybody has this negative opinion of the Europeans that came here and fought, but the reality is that the Indian tribes were fighting each other all the time too. They weren't like peaceful living with nature. They would run whole herds of buffalo off of cliffs just to get enough for them to eat, and there was a lot of waste. But so his way of looking at it is that the European warriors that came in were just better warriors, and he didn't have a negative opinion of it. And I ran into a lot of people that looked at it that way. Of course, you have others that don't, but it was really interesting living out there. I moved from I lived with the Hopi for a while, the Navajo, the Apache, the Pueblo, and the Havasu. I was actually held hostage by the Havasu, which was interesting. So,
Bob, I live in Arizona. I'm in Scottsdale, Arizona. So I'm totally familiar with all that. I had a case actually in Maricopa where a gentleman contacted us because, well, again, kind of like, what you run into in the paranormal world, you have some fake people out there that just, want to do this for fun, or they want to scare the shit out of the clients, and I had this gentleman who was told that he literally had a portal. He had a vortex. He had a skinwalker. He had UFOs. He had, Native American. And I went out there, I'm a medium, an evidential medium. I went out there and channeled, and instantly I said, you have got two very pissed off Hohokam Indians. This is their land, and they are pissed off that this land has been raped, and you're not putting nutrients back into the land. You're not cultivating the land as it should be. And the activity, apparently the activity amped up because they had illegal immigrants from Mexico that were coming in and working on the land. And they went ballistic. And so they were causing a lot of havoc, not only on my client's property, but on several of the other properties as well. So I had a medicine man from the Tohono, which is the closest I can get, because as you know, Hohokam is no longer around. They were absorbed into either the Apaches or the Hopi or the Tohono. So I had Wayne come out and he did a blessing with coffee grounds, and we did a whole ritual. And as soon as we did that, the appeasement helped and they stopped terrorizing.
It's amazing as soon as you pay attention to the native spirits of a place when that kind of negative activity ceases.
Yep. It was awesome to be part of that.
Too many ghost hunters, right, don't look at, the deeper history of a location. It's always, it's so often that they kind of tap into that surface level, that just looking at the Europeans that were here, as opposed to, the people that were here for, thousands of years.
Right. Exactly.
And that's where the root of it is typically.
Yeah, it was really interesting to be part of that whole ritual, to see that, the offering and what he was saying. It was quite amazing, And the client's like, it worked. We don't have any of that. And I said, well, I'm going to tell you, you don't have skinwalkers. You don't have I said, I can't attest to UFOs. I said, because I'm not out here at night looking for UFOs. Anything's possible in that area of Maricopa by the mountains. But I said, you definitely don't have, a vortal. I call it a vortal now, a vortex and a portal. I mean, you don't have any of that stuff whatsoever going on in the property. I said, you just had two pissed off Hohokam Indians.
Yeah. So somebody was watching Skinwalker Ranch too much, and
yes, yeah,
that's the other thing you run into.
Oh God, yes, yeah.
Yeah, I was so lucky because where I live, we didn't get cable TV until like the mid '80s, and and we didn't get any of we didn't get sci-fi or any of that. So I didn't know that like Ghost Hunters and those kind of shows even existed, until much later, until they were already established. And the way I found out was I was the only ghost hunter around, me and my friends. You never ran into other people. And then all of a sudden I started seeing people in the Okefenokee near Peru and Hobbit Land out near Marion. And they were all investigating the exact same way, with K2 meters and all that. And I was like, what? I didn't even know what that equipment was, and they're explaining, well, you don't watch Ghost Hunters? Or what the heck is that? But yeah, and that's probably one of the biggest things, that the influence of TV on ghost hunting is immeasurable. It really, in a negative way, because everybody has that singular mindset of how they investigate. And
all the dude bros didn't help anything.
Yeah.
Let me ask you this, Bob. Do you believe the truth is something we discover or something that we create?
Well, there's a little bit of both in that. A lot of times, all right, so I mentioned Okefenokee a minute ago, near Peru. So growing up, being older, I'm in my early 60s now. So Okefenokee was not a thing, right? Nobody went out there. It was like a place where you rode your horses and stuff. There was nothing paranormal attached to it at all. And then, so everybody went to Hobbit Land for that kind of stuff over by Marion. Well, sometime in the 90s, kids started going out there and they started making up ghost stories. Because you want to scare your girlfriend, make her sit a little close to you, that kind of thing. Well, it didn't take long before all of a sudden you're getting activity out there. And so I'm a firm believer that if you create a story about a place, there are spirits that will fill that role. They're just waiting to be invited into places. So that's where your creation comes in, right? So you can make up like the Hookman at the cemetery, right? And
before you know it,
enough
becomes
people
the
go out there and
legend.
believe that,
Yeah.
it's going to manifest.
It creates an egregore.
Exactly.
Yeah, I was going to say they did a episode where Amy Bruni and Adam Berry actually were, I think they were in New Orleans, and they had their suspicion that it was an egregore. I can never say that word, Jen.
Egregore.
And they literally did a test run where they literally made, and I think it was Zombie Boy. They made up a character, and
it was Zombie Boy.
Yeah, and they kept talking about it, and they kept infusing that energy into the building. And the next thing you know, after 24 hours, they went in and they were doing EVP sessions and spirit box sessions, and they were literally getting Zombie Boy responding.
Exactly, yes.
Wow. And he doesn't exist. He was completely created out of the imagination of both Adam Berry and Amy Bruni.
So I guess the question I'm boiling down to, how much of this paranormal and the occult has been created by us then?
Good question.
Well, the thing is it's all connected, right?
Yeah.
So everything is so interconnected. There's really only, it's a friend of mine, coined the term, everything's paranormal. Well, because it is, right? So everything is interconnected. So your mind, whatever it creates, is connected to that other person's mind, and they're creating too. So that's there we are.
That's how a lot of people create their own hauntings.
That's right.
Their thoughts.
I was just thinking about that, Bill.
Well, they say everything that's created, we're manifesting it, and a lot of the time we're just manifesting it in our minds, and a lot of times that's just enough.
Yeah.
A lot of times you don't even speak the words.
We're spirits too.
Yeah.
Right? We're just walking around in meat suits.
Oh, it's so funny.
And all those spirits without a meat suit are jealous because they can't touch a table, right? They can't pick up a water bottle. They want that tactile sensation, and they don't have it. That's why some of them get frustrated, create havoc. But they covet what we have right now. But we'll be like them too, As soon as we shuffle off this mortal coil, we are all we're all spirit.
They, to that point, Sid, they, you've heard of the Myrtle Plantation in, Louisiana or something like that. Anyway, they believe that Chloe, the slave that supposedly killed the family, they believe that is all a manifestation, that is not true. They can't.
I agree with that. I think it's all manifestation.
It is. But the interesting part is that the plantation has embraced Chloe, and they continue to manifest Chloe so that they can continue to keep that travel and keep the tourism going, so that
they're making that money.
Questionable ethics there.
Correct. Yeah. I'm with Jen on that. So yeah, I mean, they've proven that there's not any, even as a slave, that there was no record of her actually even living, or actually even being the one that killed the family at all. So yeah, it's wild.
Well,
but
there was a period where ghost hunters would go out of their way to get spirits to cross over. And I always thought that was just so very bold of them to think that,
how dare they assume that they want to cross
really
over?
Know what that spirit wants.
Right.
Yeah.
Correct.
What are you doing enforcing your will upon them? Because they will go wherever they want to go in due time.
Right.
Exactly.
It's like us, it's no different than me saying, Bob, I need to force you to drink that bottled water. Yes. You have free will. I can't make you do that any more than you can tell me,
You can, because I've been kind of trained to do whatever a woman says. So.
Let me get my husband in so he can hear that.
You heard that, right?
Let me ask you, Bob.
Yes, I heard it.
Can a person be skeptical and spiritual at the same time?
Well, yeah, sure. There is no limit to what we can do. The rationalities we can make in our brains. But I think you should be skeptical. Whenever I go on an investigation, I go in as a skeptic. I need proof. I need to see it with my own eyes, what's going on, and I'm going to doubt it until I see it. So,
yeah.
So, Bob, you worked on some comic books, Vampirella.
Yes.
Would you elaborate what kind of experience that was?
Great question, Thunder.
It was the best of times, and it was the worst of times. The way I came into that was pretty amazing. We'll go back just a little bit. I don't know if you're aware of Sarah Frazetta. She's the granddaughter of Frank Frazetta, the famous fantasy illustrator. So I had made an offhand comment on Twitter about a movie called Fire and Ice that Ralph Boschke and Frank Frazetta had done in the 80s. And I just said, somebody should do a role-playing game about that. And she contacted me and she said, could you do that? And I said, well, absolutely. And so my son and I, we created this game for them that went to Kickstarter and did really well. It's reaching backers now. But anyway, while all of that was going on, they had brought in Dynamite Comics to kind of help with the Kickstarter side of it. And then they came up with the idea for us to do a Vampirella comic that kind of honored the legacy of Frank Frazetta. So Sarah comes to me and she said, hey, would you help me do this? Because she's not really a writer, but she is a good idea person. So I said, yeah, we sat down, we talked it out. We came up with a couple of different ideas and we decided to lean into like a gothic romance angle. And we went to work on it. And we wrote 4 issues and it was amazing. It was an amazing experience. And I got to illustrate some of the covers. And yeah, so I was a big fan of Vampirella in the 70s. And so getting to work on that character was a dream come true for me. And
I
getting
bet
to
that
work
was a
with
cool
Rosetta,
experience, though.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Oh yeah.
and yeah,
What
we
an
worked
honor.
with this Italian artist named Alberto Locatelli, and he had a very modern style, but it really worked with the story that we put together. And
To me,
yeah, I was
a
really
lot
proud of it.
To me, a lot of that Francesca guy, I remember getting a book when I was over in Europe that had a lot of his illustrations all through it. And I still have that book. I got a couple of his books.
Yeah, Frazetta was a huge influence on me as a kid. He illustrated the Conan, Conan the Barbarian, and I loved those as a kid. So yeah, just he was amazing, and getting to be anywhere near his legacy was an amazing.
You guys are just a little bit before my time. I didn't start getting into comics until the 80s.
I'm telling you, this guy is, to me, he is an artist. He did a lot of illustrations for movie posters, all kinds of stuff.
I used to love those heavy metal comics.
Yeah,
sure.
The illustrations in those were always thought were badass.
Well, he did a lot of album covers too, like for Molly Hatchet.
Yeah.
Right.
Oh yeah.
Yeah.
Remember that
Disaster. That that cover. Yeah. Yeah. That's pretty great.
The movie Heavy Metal, he did an illustration for that for the poster.
Oh, wow.
I can remember as a kid watching that damn movie Heavy Metal, and it took me years to really grasp that cartoon.
Yeah.
Older I got, I love it, but when I was a kid, I was like, I'm just not.
Well, that
I'm
wasn't
not,
a Saturday morning cartoon. That's for sure.
it sure the hell wasn't.
Our kids loved it.
Hey, everybody who's in the ghost hunting community, you always ask like, what was your influence and all that, and everybody comes up with these very highfalutin, reasons that they got into it. But we all know that the real reason is Scooby-Doo.
Yes, absolutely.
Well, yes, because I wanted Scooby treats.
I watched Scooby-Doo every week, hoping that it wasn't going to be a guy under a mask. Eventually, it was going to be really a ghost. So.
Yeah.
Let's talk a little briefly about you're a game designer.
Yes. So yeah, I mentioned the Fire and Ice game that my son and I wrote, and it's kind of a hybrid of like a war game and a role playing game. But we did that for them, and it was a lot of fun. We enjoyed doing it. But we created our own game, which is called the Occult Detective Role Playing Game, and in it you play paranormal investigators. And you've got like a game master that we call an author who creates a story, and you go in and explore haunted houses or graveyards. You've got vampires, angels and demons, golems, werewolves.
So are you the master of the game when you get your group of people around you to play it?
My son and I both do that. My son, he's in his early 20s, and he's an author also. So yeah, we take turns telling stories, because I want to play too, right? So it's a lot of fun. It's been pretty popular especially with the occult crowd, because we worked really hard on the magic in it.
Right.
So, like, seasoned occultists, have contacted me and said, "Oh man, this is brilliant. We love what you did here. It's all very, it's very real world, and so it kind of manifests all that crazy stuff. If you want to be like Mulder and Scully, you can go after UFOs and
X-Files.
all that kind of thing.
I want to be more like the Scooby-Doo crew.
Well, you can do that.
I want to hang out with Shaggy.
It is designed that any show or book that you enjoyed, you can recreate that with these rules. So
I think it's cool that you built a game like that. I mean,
That's really cool.
Yeah, it is.
yeah, thank you. Here's the if you can see that.
Oh yeah. Okay. Yeah.
Yeah.
let me try
So,
to put that back up again.
Oh, there you go. Perfect.
Nice.
yeah,
That's cool.
Oh yeah,
yeah.
Love
So
that's a pretty damn thick book.
yeah, it's
That looks like
there's
a
a lot of
complicated
rules, so.
fucking game over there.
yeah. Yeah, and we'll have another like a kind of a monster manual that'll come out here. In a
Are
few
you going to
months.
make one for dummies?
Anybody can figure
Me?
this out. Really, it's
Oh, you don't know me.
The Cliff
Yeah.
Note version? Sid needs the Cliff Note version.
I
Yeah.
need the layman version of it.
How many books have you
You got
actually?
to look at page 303 to find out what you can do with. Oh, fuck, man. I can't even get to 303.
Right. For serial 3.
Well, Bob, an hour just seems like it doesn't do us justice, does it? We have to get you back on a show again here in the near future and try to
that'd be great.
dig deeper into Bob's psyche.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Yeah.
I'd appreciate it.
If you got any place you'd like to give a shout out to before we say good night?
Well, you can find me online pretty easy. I'm a cult detective on all social platforms. You can go to occultdetective.com, and I blog a lot. I talk a lot about magic and writing. So if you're interested in those sort of things, I tell ghost stories, all day long. So
I could sit here and go to sleep listening to Bob tell ghost stories.
Yeah.
Bob, it's naughty
I'll
night
pro-
time for
I
me.
sometimes put myself
Will
to
you
sleep
tell me a
telling myself
story?
stories.
Do you got any events coming up that you're doing, like a
Oh
booth
yeah,
or anything up yet?
well, Para Unity will be in October, right? That's an
Yeah,
event
I'm
we
going
run
to that. I'm
through
excited
every
for
year.
that one.
Yeah, this will be the 8th annual, and it's a lot of fun. There's a lot of great vendors there. I've been there 7 years now, and it's always a great time. I read tarot for people. You get a free tarot reading every time you buy a book, and yeah, so it's a terrific event. And I'll be in Logansport on the 20th for an adult book fair.
What do you mean adult book fair?
Yeah, well, you remember the book fairs that when you were like in elementary school? It's like that, but it's for adults.
Oh, that's a letdown. I thought we was like really talking about adult books.
Oh, you
We're
think
swapping
adult.
hustlers.
Read my werewolf novels. You can get your fill of that. So
Thank you, Bob, for hanging out with us tonight. I
you.
appreciate you.
It was
thanks for
great.
having me.
Yes, thank you very
Yeah.
much.
Nice to meet you.
Come back anytime.
We're going to have to
Wonderful.
have you come back. An hour just doesn't do it justice because I could sit here and listen to you guys ask all these questions all night long.
Yeah, maybe next time there won't be gremlins.
Yes.
Sorry
No
about that tonight
tornadoes,
too as
no
well.
storms.
No thunderstorms. Hopefully, no more tonight. Tomorrow,
Right.
yeah.
How
All
many-
right, guys. Well, thank you for tuning in tonight to another Between Two Worlds.
Oh,
Be sure to tune in tomorrow at 8:00 for me and Jim. We're going to hang out with the band Decay. And I'm going to be on the radio first thing in the morning too for you guys to get you guys' morning started off the right way. Man, I got
Hell yeah.
the morning outlaw show, but I don't really feel like an outlaw.
You're an
Maybe I have to do a lot
outlaw
of some
in
bang
every
bang.
sense of the matter.
Yeah,
I
there
need to
you
do
go,
some
Beth.
more bang bang.
I've seen your cowboy hat.
I got a new one coming in too. I was supposed to get it tonight, but thank you, Amazon, for not showing up tonight. I appreciate you.
I worked for
paid all the-
Amazon. That place sucks.
I didn't get my hat tonight, but yeah, I got a new hat. It's a wide brim fedora.
Oh, I can't wait to see that. I love fedora.
My wife has told me that I got a compulsion when it comes to hats. I have hats like galore everywhere.
Yeah, I see you.
My husband
That's
with
all
the
right. We love
baseball
hats. Hats are awesome.
Until it becomes a habit, and then it's not so awesome. You got nowhere to put them. I got to fucking hang hats on
Kind
the
of like
wall.
shoes. Yeah.
That's my fetish.
All right, guys. Thanks for tuning in tonight. We're going to leave you with one last
right.
song
Bye,
by
guys.
Decay. This is their song Salt Slaughterhouse Disco. Enjoy, and we'll catch you guys tomorrow at 8 o'clock right here. Right here on Facebook. Until then, be safe, be well, y'all. Thanks again, Bob.
Bye-bye.
Thank you.
Bye, Bob. Thank you.
I'm the Haunt Master. Everyone drop and do push-ups.
Seriously? Okay, starting now.
Good. Keep going.
Wow, she's actually doing it.
Why are you still standing? Do jumping jacks.
All right, jumping jacks it is.